Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Aviary Attorney here on the Chill Sunday stream. Hope everybody's having a chill Sunday. Hope everything is well. I see a few people already commented. We have Il saying objection, and I rest my case, as well as I will be AFK listening to this on my way home from work. Doug asks, streams in this economy? It's more likely than you think. Doug also says, don't know if I'll be here the entire time, but we shall see how my body decides to act. Well, hopefully your body acts appropriately and, well, and doesn't hurt you too bad, and therefore allows you to stay. So I also want to remind people to switch over from Top Chat to Live Chat. Top Chat to Live Chat so that you can all see what each other is saying. Also, hello and welcome, Jalix. Il, Doug, and Jalix, hope you're all having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you could be here. Yeah. We'll get started in a few minutes. We're going to be finishing up Aviary Attorney today. I don't know how much we have left in it. It's probably not going to be full stream length of time. From what I'm seeing, we have one chapter left. I was thinking about the possibility, depending on how long it is, to go back and, check out one of the alternate endings, like the one where we might, I don't know, fail to defend our fellow attorney. Jalix is kind of sad that Aviary Attorney is ending. To be honest, this game was nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Happy to share it with you. Following up that, we will be playing Staxel to kind of build our little thing to remember Aviary Attorney. So if you have any ideas for that, Jalix, by all means, please let me know. And after that, we will be building our portal to the next game. Doug says the only bad thing about it is there's too much French. I agree. I mean, personally, I have a limit to the amount of French I can handle. But it was a silly and fun game. That said, also want to ask you, if you're joining the stream, to consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and doing all the things that make YouTube, you know, recognize that I have been successful, even if I have to ask and beg for it. On top of that, more seriously, if you're in a financial place to do so, and only if you're in a financial place to do so, please do consider supporting the Patreon. Any donation amount is appreciated. It goes a long way to helping me continue to do these streams every Sunday, let the community streams on Friday that I'm doing, as well as the videos during the week. So anything that you can donate would be appreciated, and thank you all. Doug says, true, there's only, you can only be thrown random words you only half understand and don't know how to pronounce for so long. I'll just take that. To be fair, I do know what the words are saying, I just can't pronounce them. I can very, very much read most of, especially academic French, so... But you're right. I cannot pronounce most of them. Not meant to be... I didn't take it as an insult. It's just not how I've spent my, my energy in life. I didn't spend it learning French. I spent it learning other things. French is not exactly the most relevant language to where I am. And have been in my life. You shouldn't, it's a dog shit language. Well, thank you for letting me know. Stop badgering the witness. Oh yeah, we should move the cam back up to the top left, right? Thank you for the reminder, Jalix. Yeah, I had it down there. I moved it for Sea of Thieves for Fridays. Even though Sea of Thieves is weird because that's where the health is. Like, Sea of Thieves wants you to be, like, over here. Doug says I learned, I guess, up to a third grader's level at the best. Awful language. Ella says motion for a mistrial. And Doug says, I don't know if I continue to learn any more of it. Well, if you do decide to, let me know. Maybe I'll pick up some basics. To me, it's the pronunciation. That just... the mouth movements. I can't wrap my head around how they pronounce things in French. But yeah, how about we get back into the game? Let's finish this up. Let's do 4. The answer is they barely pronounce it. That's their secret. Very true. Sparrowson. Oh man, oh man. You kicked so much derriere at that impromptu trial yesterday. Those rebels were all like, we're executing this punk, mob justice, rah rah rah, but you were all like, this isn't how we do things in France, chicken pluckers. And then they were all like, Sparrowson, let's get serious for a moment. Serious, you just pulled off the craziest lawyering move in the history of French law. We should be celebrating. We don't have time to pull out the champagne. Didn't you see the anger in the rebels' eyes? Didn't you feel the tension in the air? We're just days away from violence breaking out onto the streets. Oh yeah, I guess another revolution might be around the corner. But what exactly can we do? We already told the police everything we... No. Unless... you're not thinking of arming yourself to the teeth and fighting the rebel forces yourself, are you? Why would I fight the rebels? What? No. You watch far too many action operas. I was thinking of preparing a legal case. A case? For whom? At their core, all historical revolutions center on trials. A nation's rulers are tried and held accountable for their crimes. Hell yeah. But you saw the horrendous trial that took place last night. Nobody cares about due process when emotions are running high. Regardless of the outcome of the revolution, we need to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity for justice. That makes sense. So what's the plan? We head to Quinnell's Tavern and hand out some business cards? Think bigger. Who will the rebels target? The king. Exactly. To the Palais Royal. Are we defending the king? I don't want to defend the king. After filing in a pile of forms, the two are led to a waiting area. Are you here to see the king? That's right. Okay, take a number and wait to be called. Take a number. Yep, just wait your turn. More fools who have come to see the king. Let me guess. Lawyers. That's right. How did you... Hey, I know you. You're the Prime Minister. Oh yeah. Oh wow. You're right, Sparrowson. It's an honor to meet you, Prime Minister. Spare the formalities. You two are here to offer the king legal aid, aren't you? Yep, we're gonna offer him assistance for the upcoming rebellion. Let me give you a word of advice. Don't bother. Excuse me? The king doesn't take kindly to any form of criticism. He buries his head so far in the sand that one could swear he's an ostrich. Doug says Tara saw the name and just punked it. Yes, I am in no mood. It's Gisot. Or something like, or Guissot. With all due respect, Prime Minister, I think the King of France is mature enough not to let his ego get in the way of senses. Oh boy, do you not know monarchs? Hey, and welcome, Shark. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Falcon over here thinks monarchs are reasonable people who are mature and don't let their ego get in the way of their senses. Falcon has very high expectations for a very, very low likelihood outcome. It was a pleasure meeting with you, monsieur. Good luck, you'll need it. 24, calling number 24. Good day, your majesty. Good day, messieurs. Can I help you with something? Oh, I probably should have prepared a speech before, and that would have been smart, huh? Just wing it. Right, let's see how to start. Listen up, Your Majesty. Oh, I didn't want to say Your Majesty. I wanted to be rude. We've got important matters to discuss, and we don't have time for any backtalk. How rude. Is there any way to speak to your king? Across the whole city, everyone of every class is getting angry. Murder's about to go down. That's vile language. As lawyers, we believe that we can help guide the flow of conflict. If you accept our help, we can ensure that this whole event will blow over with minimal casualties. No public executions, no fires and explosions, a revolution without revolution. I think I understand. You do? Lock up Mr. Falcon. I understand that you're a pair of con artists attempting to screw a self-made bourgeois out of his hard-earned cash. You have some nerve to imply that my people hate me. I'm the Citizen King. I'm beloved by all. Beloved kings tend to experience fewer assassination attempts. Look, have these two crooks thrown in jail. Maybe that'll teach them a thing or two about respect. Right away, Your Majesty. You can't be serious. Oh, he's serious. Well, that's another fine mess you've gotten me into. There's no need for the attitude, Sparrowson. We won't be in here for long. Once we've received a court hearing, the judges will no doubt dismiss our charges instantly. Jeez. You're locked in here because the king told you. And how long will it take for us to get a court hearing? Tell me that, Monsieur Smarty Pants. A week or so, I'm guessing? I can see why that might be a problem. The revolution could be in full swing by then. What do you want to do? We could try escaping. Don't be ridiculous. Nobody's ever escaped from the concierge before. Yeah, no, but nobody has ever locked away the genius Sparrowson and his witty lackey Falcon into the same jail cell before. Hello and welcome. Who just came in? Zero. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you could join us. Doug welcomes notorious Sea of Thieves player Flying Shark. Flying Shark says, my reputation precedes me, I say. Indeed it does. Doug says, I worked so hard to be born here. And to be elected king. Wait. Il says, off with his head. Doug says, many years walking through the spirit realm for that. Got any better ideas? Okay, let's break out of prison. Fantastic. Select an area to examine. A fireplace. It's been bricked up, so escaping up the chimney isn't an option. Look, Falcon. A loose brick. We could wait for a guard to transfer us to someplace, sneak up behind him, and then we get a death sentence for murder. I think not. Let's search a little harder. There's a little dent here. One of us could hide. Hide? What could that accomplish? Well, the guard will eventually come in and be like, where's the other prisoner? And then we'll be momentarily confused and push him over to an escape. Do you really think an experienced guard would be confused by a prisoner hiding in a little hole in the wall? We can do better. There's a bit of scrap metal in this hole. I think it broke off an iron shackle. We could dig through the stone walls with this, see? It's all scratchy. That actually might work if we had a decade or two. So that's a maybe on the stone digging scheme. We'll keep it in mind in case the king decides to go all Count of Monte Cristo on us. A ledge. Give me a leg up and I can grab on and shimmy my way over somewhere. Let's be honest, Sparrowson. Neither of us have the physical prowess to shimmy anywhere. Point is, we're not breaking out of prison. I give up. So soon? Yes. Trying to escape from a notoriously inescapable prison wasn't the smartest plan we've ever devised. Well, well, well. That voice. That condescending tone. Just what are you two big bird brains doing? Severed, are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. The injuries I sustained were mostly superficial. The doctor advised me not to do anything strenuous anytime soon, but he gave me the all clear for returning to my job. So tell me, why did I get a memo informing me that JJ Falcone and Sparrowson were being held in the concierge for treason? It's all Falcon's fault. Not really. I figured that if a revolution's inevitable, that we should do our best to ensure that the uprising proceeds in an organized manner. Less bloodshed, the better. Okay, so what did you do? We offered the king our assistance. We said that we would defend him in court if and when such a need arises. But we didn't quite use those words. This isn't the first time the king has had someone in prison for something so pointless. What a pig-headed fool. Consider your charges dropped. Alright, let's get out of here. Hold on, you've caught my interest with this idea of yours, a bloodless revolution. You are absolutely right that if the king is captured, the citizens will devolve into an unruly mob of animals. We should prepare for a formal trial. No, we should preempt it. We? You're going to help us. Of course. This isn't a task that can be handled by two birds alone. What do you mean by preempt, Severin? We go on the offensive. We charge the king with crimes against the French people before the rebels can even act. We can do that? We can certainly try. I'll start building a case against the king. My argument will be focused on the king's gluttonous and irrelevant fiscal policies, his lack of commitment to his socio-political promises, his overall ineptitude and irresponsibility in all facets of his duties as a monarchical ruler, and obviously his denial of universal suffrage. Obviously. How am I supposed to defend the king from all that? You can't. If you try to argue with facts and logics, this hypothetical trial will inevitably result in a landslide guilty verdict. So I suggest you take a different approach. Appeal to the king's character. Try to win the people's hearts with tales of the beloved Citizen King. He hasn't been called the Citizen King for like 10 years. It was just a suggestion. But consider this. You don't need to win the case. You just need to make a strong enough argument that the trial's fair. All that remains is ensuring that the king can be peacefully brought to the courthouse when the protests start to turn violent. That's a job for the police and the royal guard. I'll inform Inspector Valerti of our plans so that he can prepare accordingly. At least I would if I could find him. Inspector Valerti's missing. Apparently he's taken an informal leave of absence since Wednesday. Hold on, Falcone. One thing eludes me. As you probably figured, Inspector Valerti had me perform an investigation into your past. He thought you were the Viridian killer, crazy as it sounds, and while I'm sorry for doing that, it was quite invasive of me. But I can't help but wonder, why did you change your name around 1830? Because I was ashamed, I suppose. I had a family name to live up to. My grandfather was something of a successful lawyer. And when I turned up to my class at law school, people would gawp at me. They would say, wow, you have big shoes to fill, and your grandfather would be proud. But I was a terrible law student, mediocre at best. I knew that deep down, I would never be half the man my grandfather was. Fascinating. I had no idea. Who was your grandfather, if you don't mind me asking, Falcone? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he was just another overly opinionated rebel who died in the old revolution. I see. Well, let's not dilly-dally any longer. We have duties to carry out. Right, we're going to find anecdotes and we're going to defend the king, whether he likes it or not. Do I have to defend the king? I don't wanna. I mean, I kind of like the idea of a bloodless revolution here, but okay, I guess let's just go down the list. Time for some shopping, Falcon? Maybe later. For now, we need to find people who've spoken to the king. He's been known to pass through Les Halles on occasion, so if we're lucky... Hey, messieurs, it's us, remember? We remember. Are you keeping well, madame? Absolutely. Never been better. So what can I sell you today? Information. We're looking for positive stories about the king. I don't suppose you have any? Oh, the king? No, I haven't got anything to say about the king. The king's a smelly egg thief. Quiet, child. You know what they say about the king having spies everywhere. Spies? Calm down, Sparrowson. The rumors of the king having an elaborate spy network are patently untrue. And how do you explain the shutdown of banquets, huh? The government's clamping down on anybody who dissents, you know? Let's get this conversation back on track. Joey, can you tell us why the king's a smelly egg thief? My name's not Joey. It's nothing you need to concern yourselves with, monsieur. Go on, madame. Don't worry, we aren't spies. At least I don't think we are. I know, I trust you guys. See, a couple of years ago, we were running a shop, an antiques and odds and ends shop, and we had an egg. It was a golden egg, super precious. We must have bought that thing for 200 francs, but it was easily worth 10 times that. We were pining on making a nice tidy sum from it. I see, an investment egg. So what happened? Well, one day we visited by the king no less. An old King Lufil shows an interest in our egg, so we were thinking this would be our chance to make bank, right? But then the geezer just goes and waddles off with it. Without paying you? Oh yeah, he paid us all right. What's this? The coin one of the king's guards flipped our way. It isn't even French. Oh my goodness, they gave her a British pound. I think this is British, one of those crazy imperial unit coins from a crazy imperial country. I have no idea what the British-French exchange rate is, but can we buy this off of you, madame? Put your wallet away and keep it. It's worthless to me. Sautaine's coin has been added to your evidence folder. Losing that egg bankrupted us. It put us on the streets. But now we've bounced back. Sultan and Gambade, better than ever. That's excellent to hear. Anyway, we must take our leave. You've been a huge help, madame. We're gonna kick that king's butt and get your egg back. Hold on, we're supposed to be the defense. Yeah, you're gonna find he's not very defendable. Let's see what people are saying in chat. Guards aren't that smart either. I think they're like cops in that sense, that the test for critical thinking and reject candidates as do well. Excuse me. Doug says, I mean, guards are mostly there to keep an eye on the people, really. Zero says, if I had to defend a king, I would half-ass it so much. Doug says, also question for everyone. When you see a bad movie, like one that genuinely makes you cringe, what's your reaction to it? Usually to laugh. Usually to laugh at it a lot. Zero says, it depends, Doug. Is it bad because people who made it are out of touch and did a poor job, or because they don't care? Or is it bad in the sense that people who made it knew it was going to be bad? And so they have fun with it and make it campy. In the first case, I take offense, but in the second case, I quite enjoy it and try to join in the fun. As long as it's not something, like, grotesquely, like, bad in terms of, like, how it treats actual, like, people or groups of people, I'm pretty fine with it. Whatever. And I'll just laugh along. Or I'll make my own, like, phrases to, like, act in the movie, and I'll start making fun of it as we go. Shark says, if a movie's so bad that I cringe, I'd probably say cringe. I think cringe is overused at this point. Cringe is cringe. Doug says, I asked because after I finish, I immediately want to force everyone I know to watch it. Well, not force, but I will show it to everyone. Yeah, that's a fair reaction. Monsieur Kingley, we need your help. Finally, it's about time someone around here appreciated my skills. Your fishing skills, right? The term's angling, wise guy. This has nothing to do with fishing. Let me cut the preamble. We're looking for people who have positive stories about the king. Would you happen to have any? Stories, huh? You came to the right guy. I have a whale of a story for you. So the other day I was fishing, and I caught this monster of a catfish. It was 2 meters long easily. Here we go. I caught a fish, and it was this big. Oh, sure. I drag a 90-kilogram falcon out of the water, and everyone buys it. But I claim to catch one big fish, and suddenly everyone's a skeptic. Please continue your story, Monsieur Kingsley. Oh, right. So, anyway, the king of all people happens to be walking by with his entourage, and they all clapped and cheered and came over to see the fish. And the king says, I'm hungry, let's cook this fellow up. And then he just walks off with my fish. Can you believe that? I can believe that. It seems like something a royal penguin would do. Did you at least get paid for your fish? Oh yeah, one of the royal guards was nice enough to flip 1 franc my way. 1 franc. He may as well just flip the bird, no offense. So the king supports the local fishing industry. I'm writing this down. Toussaint's story has been added to your evidence folder. I have no idea if this story will be of any use to us, but we appreciate your time, monsieur. Good day to you. Bye, Monsieur Fisherman. Hey, don't call me a fisherman. Shark says, my problem is I get secondhand embarrassment really badly. Couldn't even finish a few shorts because of it. What does secondhand embarrassment mean? A genuine question. Sarah says kings are lame and we should stop having them. UK, I'm looking at... don't even get me started with the UK having a king and the whole coronation thing. And the fact that people are just kind of, like, going with it. It's like... That's embarrassing. Having a king in 2023 is pretty embarrassing. Unless you're, you know, Wakanda. But it's also a very different definition of king. It's also fictional. Doug says, secondhand embarrassment is when you feel embarrassed for something someone else did. Since you're supposed to feel it when you do something. Okay, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying with that. I get secondhand embarrassment for the UK having a king. I get what you're saying with that. I'm just confused how a movie invokes that. I get it if a family member was being overtly messed up in some sort of way and you were with a friend and you were embarrassed that your family member was embarrassing your whole family or something like that. I guess I don't understand how that comes from a movie. Where it's like, wow, that was so bad, I can't... I feel secondhand embarrassment. Like, you are in no way connected to or involved with or have anything to do with... You empathize with the characters too much. Okay, I used to get that something, I guess, similar when I was younger, where I couldn't watch certain shows. I don't know if I'd call it secondhand embarrassment. Whenever you used to get that kind of show where it was like the characters really messed up on something and you knew they were going to get in trouble, I used to not enjoy the feeling I would get watching that because it was like you knew they messed up and you couldn't do anything to help them. Like, I used to kind of have that reaction. So maybe there is something similar there, but I don't think I've ever really experienced that with embarrassment. Doug says probably depends on the movie. Maybe if it was just a ridiculous acting in the bad sense, or maybe feeling pity for what the actor has to do for their part. I mean, okay, I could see that because I'm just gonna mention it. Anybody who had to act with Tommy Wiseau in the room, I feel so bad for them. But I don't know if embarrassment's the feeling that I experience in that moment. It's more, oh man, oh, that must have been rough. Hello and welcome, King Cyrus. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you can join us. To the library. He never lets us down for useful information. I'm sure he's got something interesting and pleasant to say about the king. Oh, it's you, misters. Perhaps you'll surprise me today and actually ask to take out a book. Nope, just the usual today, an endless stream of questions. You two needed an encyclopedia. We'll go on then. Ask whatever drivel you want to ask. You ever met King Louis Philippe? I have. As a matter of fact, he occasionally drops by this library to check out books. Unlike some people. What sort of books does he check out, monsieur? Thick books. I believe the last one he checked out was an expansive history of the Macedonian Empire. I have no idea that His Majesty was interested in academic history. I'll make a note. King Louis Philippe is a well-read and intelligent man. It must be said the books are usually returned with footprints on the covers. This leads me to believe that he may just use them to stand on during speeches. Oh. We'll just leave that part out. Date and story's been added to your evidence folder. Was there anything else? From your well-educated standpoint, is King Louis Philippe a good leader as far as leaders go? I can't follow the king's pro-business spirit. The big industry leaders love him. Oh, this sounds promising. Of course, this comes at the expense of everyone who isn't a bourgeois. The wealth divide is stronger than ever. Somebody saved that. YouTube emojis are broken. What? No. Oh wow, they really are broken. What the hell? Doug says I often sometimes feel pity for actors watching a scene. Cyrus says, did you all see the wonderful waste of British taxpayer money? No, I didn't watch it because on principle I don't watch street performances that involve the ascension of royalty. On principle, I have no desire to see a fictional person put in charge of a fictional country. I know what I just said. Even if we all pretend we have to acknowledge that that exists. Zero says, I know it happened, but I didn't care to watch it. Jaguar says, hello everyone, kitty in a box emote, but obviously it's not working. Thank you for joining us, Jaguar. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Finally, someone admitted that England is fake. All countries are fake. We just agree that they're real. And some people can't even agree which ones are real or not. The UK does not exist. It exists as much as every other country exists. King Cyrus the Great says, what was cool was the Asante tribe leaders showed up wearing traditional garb as a statement to the British royal family. Oh, interesting. That is potentially a huge slap in the face to the British monarchy. I kind of appreciate that. The UK isn't real, it can't hurt us. Unfortunately, just because something is not real doesn't mean it can't hurt you. Anyone who's ever had very, very bad anxiety knows that for a fact, that something not real can in fact hurt you very badly. Maybe not. You can forget about socially progressive policies. The king signs off on all Gussaut's backward-thinking policies, and of course, Gussaut's policies, and of course, in terms of leadership and charisma, the king is about as personable as a rotten pear. That'll do, monsieur. A simple no would have sufficed. That'll be all. Thank you for your time and patience, monsieur. I look forward to your next round of idiotic questions. I really do. Aw. Nathan actually likes us. Is the UK in the room with you right now? No, the UK is not in the room with me right now, but the US is watching intently. Excuse me, Judge Maxime. Oh, hello, Falcon. Nice work on the catacombs business. Word has it really spread that your impromptu lawyering skills. Really, I'm gaining a reputation. Hey, I helped too. Of course you did, Robinson. Sparrowson. Right, Sparrington. Judge Maxime, I don't suppose Monsieur Cocorico has filled you in on what we've been working on since then? No, he hasn't. How to put this? We're planning a trial of sorts. We intend forming a case against, the king. Right, and, we want you to adjudicate. A trial against the king? Interesting. What are his exact charges? I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest. That seems more like Severin's territory. If you aren't even sure of that, I don't think you're quite prepared for this trial. Maybe you should leave this to lawyers who have a little more experience. I see. Well then, thank you anyway. Let's make a move, Sparrowson. What about our judge? Doesn't matter. Let's focus on building a solid defense case for the king and we can wing it from there. Maybe we can even hold the trial without any judges at all. Just Cocorico, me, and the king in the middle. It's strange, Falcon. You're like your grandfather, and yet you're nothing like him. Wait, you knew my grandfather? Well, I wouldn't say knew. I was just a teenager when he was causing havoc in the courtrooms. But of course I'm familiar with his work. Falcon, I find your career choice peculiar. Your grandfather worked so hard to prosecute King Louis XVI, and yet here you are rigorously working to defend your own king. Just like him, you would make an excellent prosecutor, so why did you choose the rocky path of a private defender? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I just wanted to take myself out of my grandfather's shadow. I wanted to carve my own path as a lawyer. I don't want to be a poor imitation of an old hero. Quite understandable. Oh, just look at the time. I'm due back in the courtroom. Before we go, just let me say that I would be happy to adjudicate your trial, Falcon. Really? That's fantastic. Thank you, Your Honor. It's no trouble. Show me what the grandson of Maximilian Robespierre is capable of. Dun dun dun! Hello and everyone, welcome, Duke. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Is a revolution afoot? We're defending the king in a fake trial. Mostly we're finding out that he deserves to be prosecuted. Welcome, notorious French language knower Duke. To be fair, all trials are fake. Are they, though? Are they? Oh, man. It's like watching a baby revolution. Ah, just the dodo I wanted to see. Madame Cornell, quick question. Have you ever served the King of France? Good one, hon. That's hilarious. Me serving the king? Me? Would you like some wine, your majesty? Tee-hee. I can't wait to serve the king of Denmark. I think that was a no. And I think you might be right. Inspector Valerty? Hello, Inspector. Falcon! Jay! Jay Falconboo. Yes. I think I made a mistake. I'll say, do I see 2 empty bottles of Russian vodka? It's a mystery how you're still standing. No. Listen. This is important. Inspector, maybe we should have this conversation when you're a little more sober? No. No, Falcon. Listen. Falcon. Falcon. I thought you were the Warden Kira. The what? The Viridian Killer. The man who injured me in the July Revolution. You thought I was the Viridian Killer. How did you even come to that conclusion? I thought you changed your name around 1830 and you made an assumption. Wait, is that why you gave Severin a tip-off? Were you trying to lure the animal out of me or something? I'm sorry, Falcon. It was a mistake. Do you forgive me? Yeah, sure. I forgive you for assuming that I'm a mass murderer and then nearly killing me and Severin in order to prove it. Oh, thank you, Falcon. Listen, closely, Inspector, I have a favor to ask of you. A favor? For you, JJ? Anything. Maybe we should wait until the Inspector is a little more coherent. No, I want to help. I must pay my debt. Excellent. So Severin and I are planning a case, a very big case against the King of France. We intend on trying him before the rebels can get their hands on him. When the rebellion starts, we would like you to bring the king to the courthouse. Do you think you can do that? Inspector? Treason! You are sympathizers to the rebel cause. This isn't treason, Inspector. We're ensuring the safest outcome to an inevitable revolution. You are treason, and you are treason. You are scum. Told you, incoherent. Yeah, I guess you were right, Sparrowson. Well, Inspector, maybe you should contact us if you change your mind, and once you've sobered up. Doug says, ever watch one very silly, the consequences are real. The rituals are just silly things we do. I mean, you're not wrong. Lion Shark says, Falcon, punch! Zero says, listen, Lind. Doug says the most impressive thing is that he downed 2 bottles of vodka and is still alive and let alone semi-coherent. Shark says, never had vodka, is it any good? Visitors. Monsieur Vaupe. Visitors. Ah, if it isn't Monsieur Falcon and Monsieur Sparrowson. How may I help you two today? We're doing very well, Monsieur, but we don't have much time, so let me cut to the chase. We're collecting positive anecdotes about the king. Would you happen to have any? Positive anecdotes? How curious. As it happens, I've met the king twice. Once, as you know, was in my one querido persona. Oh, right, of course. I don't think that story will be of any use to us. What was the other incident? I can tell you, but there is a price. Are you serious? You're such a money grabber. A fox has to eat, monsieur. Fine, fine. How much do you want? 40 francs sound good? 10,000. I don't have that kind of money, monsieur. Ah, no matter. I'm sure you'll think of some way of repaying the debt. Between that and my medical bills, we should be ready to afford basic things like food by the year 4000. Let's not worry about the debt for now, messieurs. Let me just tell you the story. It was several years ago. 1841, I believe. I was lingering around Ile de la Cité. I was in the pursuit of an investigative lead, so I had adopted the persona of an outfit of a sickly beggar. That's when I was approached by a kind-faced man. It was the king himself. He took a 20-franc coin out of his pocket. The king gave money to a sick beggar? Or at least someone who looked like a sick beggar? That's great, we can use that. I'm not done, monsieur. The king took out the coin out and said, I know what it's like to be poor. When I was your age, I only had 1,000 of these to my... If only we could all have $1 million loan, everyone. Then everyone could be rich. Jaguar says I mostly use vodkas for my tinctures, so yeah, it's good for that. Doug says I don't drink very much. That's one of those types of alcohol that are best when you put other things in it. Sarah says vodka doesn't taste like anything really. It's popular because you can mix it with anything and it tastes like the thing you're mixing it with. It tastes like burning. It tastes like burning in your throat. And not like the way spicy food does. By itself, it literally just feels like it tastes like burning. I like how that tastes when it's spicy food. It's a very different burning sensation. It doesn't taste like, you know, like peppery burning or, you know, like a sweet burning. It just burns. Zero says vodka. No, I read that. Zero asks Jaguar, do you mind elaborating on how does one use that as a tincture? Doug says, alcohol just tastes like burning. Felix asks, don't you like that, Tara? No. No. No, I don't. I don't like the burning of alcohol. Most people mix alcohol for a reason. Then he pocketed the coin and left. Oh. I'll make a note. Give financial advice to the poor and needy. I hope that anecdote was of some use to Monsieur. It might be, but I don't feel like we got 10,000 francs worth of material. I see. No matter. Just keep me in mind if you ever see a potential client. We will. Have a pleasant day, monsieur. Time to try the king. What's the plan for today? Hitting the Louvre, checking out Leales, maybe? Actually, I was thinking... Severin, how rude. Don't they teach you to know... Oh, no time for bickering, JJ. It's time. Time for what? The trial, you dunce. Already? A large protest has started to form at the Place de la Concorde. No doubt it'll turn into an unruly mob before long. The spirit of revolution is in the air. We must act now. I'm going to start the necessary preparations at the courthouse, so I need you to get the king from the Palais Royal. You want me to drag the king to the courthouse. I'm not even sure that I could drag him from his chair. Use diplomacy, you dolt. I'm sure you'll think of something. Right, come along, Sparrowson. We have a king to defend. Falcon and Sparrowson rush across the city. Scores of angry eyes watch the pair's every movement. Cocorico was right. The spirit of revolution's in the air. Outside the Palais Royal, a crowd has started to form. The royal guards watch in nervous anticipation. You know, it's funny. If his grandfather is Robespierre, then, yeah. I mean, there's nobody else that he could be acting counter towards more than his grandfather right now by defending the king. 3,600 and... Save it. We're number 1. You again? Shouldn't you be in jail? There's no time for that nonsense. Your Majesty, we need you to come with us. Why? There's a trial. Well, why didn't you say so? I love trials. Oh, am I needed to give testimony? Please say it so. As a matter of fact, Your Majesty, yes. I think you will need to give a testimony. Oh, goody, goody, goody. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. The King of France is a penguin. Yes, because he's a Napoleon. Isn't this one of the Napoleon line? Am I wrong about that? What are we, in 1840? Or are we about to put one of the Napoleons back in power here? This is Louis Philippe. Nicknamed the Citizen King. Let me check. No, okay, he's not one of the... He's the penultimate monarch of France. Why do I remember them having a Napoleon that... Napoleon II, Emperor of France. I remember him having a longer reign. Ah, Napoleon III. Charles Louis Napoleon Bonaparte, who was Emperor of France and the first president of France. Okay. I am not completely out of my mind here. Not completely out of my mind here. Either way, it makes sense because it's an emperor penguin. Let's see. King of France, 1830 to 1848. In 1830, the July Revolution overthrew Charles X, who abdicated in favor of his grandson. Louis Philippe was sworn into on August of 1830. Upon his ascension to the throne, Louis Philippe assumed the title of King of France, a title previously adopted by Louis XVI in a short-lived constitution of 1791. Linking the monarchy to a people instead of a territory. Oh yeah, they were big on that. That was the whole idea between the king being the king of France versus the king of the French people, which made him the citizen king. Right. Okay, yeah. He was supposed to be accountable to the people as opposed to the land, which has a huge, philosophical distinction in French history, but ultimately leads to just another tyrant. Let's see. He basically was supported by the bourgeois. Blah, 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 infighting, blah, blah, blah. So we're in, I guess, 1848 right now. And we're about to see the February Revolution happen. Okay. February 1848 Revolution, King Philip, Okay. So this is actually based on what happened in history with Aviary Attorney being kind of an addendum, like an addition, I guess, to the actual history. Did anyone spot us? I don't think so. It's still early. The crowds are only starting to form. With any luck, we can get this trial over with before anyone realizes what's going on. You. Uh-oh. You treasonous scumbags. You actually captured the king. Captured? Clearly a joke, Your Majesty. Very subtle. I like it. So it's true. You do intend to hold a trial. Your actions are utterly despicable. You're all on the same level as the filthy rebel dissenters. Do you intend to stop us, Inspector? On any other day, I would. You are rotten lawbreakers through and through. Lawbreakers for wanting the king to stand trial. Okay. So Jaguar had said you drink the tincture either as is in water or use different herbal tinctures for various maladies. For example, I use willow bark for pain, chamomile, and other flowers for anxiety. Doug says alcohol really isn't the funniest thing. Like we left food out until it rots and now it tastes like shit. And then we drink it. I mean, there's a little bit more in terms of purifying it and making sure that it ferments properly, but yeah, you're not wrong. There might be some more info on the server if you search for it. I think I posted it. Shameless plug to the Discord. Yes, everyone, please check out the Discord and have political conversations with us. Zara says, I do think I remember you posted something a while ago. I'll look. French history. Jaguar says, I can make a post with more info. I think I posted to the T channel a while ago. All I know is Napoleon III is that he tried to install the Habsburg in Mexico and it went poorly. Shirk says, speaking of plugs, if you're in a financial place to do so, and only if you're in a financial place to do so, please do consider supporting the Patreon. Thank you, Shark. Shark is my backup whenever it comes to anything I do stream-wise, to remind you all to please support the Patreon. Ever since that one time on the Discord where I was like, I don't think I could do this because I would require more funding than I have available for one type of video, Shark has been nothing but backing me up and telling people to just support my Patreon, and I appreciate that. Genuinely. Doug says, although to be honest, most of what's there is just nonsense, to be prepared for a literal silly goose. I want nothing more than to see you tried and punished for your traitorous stance. But I owe a debt, to you, Falcon, and to Monsieur Cocarico. So, you'll let us pass? I have ordered for 12 National Guards to set up a perimeter around the entrance of the Palais de Justice. The rebels will inevitably catch word the king is here, they will try to storm the building, and when they do, we will be ready to hold them off. That's amazing, thank you, Inspector. Go on, before I change my mind. Alright, settle down everyone, settle down. Oh, should I be standing here? Am I in the right place? Where you are is perfect, Your Majesty. Now is everyone here? JJ Falcone present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Severin Cocarico present. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Oh, this'll be good. I wonder who's on trial. Are the jury all here? All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Everything seems to be in order. The court is now in session for the trial of King Louis Philippe. Ooh, that's me! Wait, what? Calm down, Your Majesty. We're simply prosecuting you for a short list of 32 crimes against the French people. What is this madness? Did you set me up to this? Well, yes and no. We're your defense, Your Majesty. I'm so confused. The process is simple. I'll state a charge that is being leveled at you and present my evidence for the charge. You and your defense will then have the opportunity to present their own counter-evidence. I'm even more confused. Just let us do the talking, Your Majesty. We're doing this for your own good. Wouldn't want you to end up like like old Louis the 16th now, would we? Let us proceed. Prosecution, present the first charge. King Louis Philippe, you are being charged with neglecting the lower classes of the nation. Your continued support of Gousseau's outdated policies have resulted in an ever-growing wage gap. Poverty is rampant, animals are forced to turn to begging, thievery, and burglary just to survive. How do you justify this vile attitude? I don't want to hear this answer, because I'm going to punch something. Goodness, you're just going straight for the jugular, aren't you? I'm a good person. I don't hate poor people. I feel mild contempt for them, but certainly don't we all? Okay. Please allow me to do the talking, Your Majesty. Severin, the king is far kinder to the poor people than the generous general populace has led them to believe. Some would even describe him as a generous philanthropist. Who would describe him as a generous philanthropist? Some would. You're going to have to do better than that. Show me an example. Just one example of the king being generous to a poor person. I don't think I can do this. Duke says, I think he's confused. We all feel at least mild contempt for the rich. Jaguar says, Falcon Punch reference doesn't get old. It's too funny. Prepare for the Falcon Punch! Hello and welcome, Cynthia Cat. Hope you're having a chill and lovely Sunday. Glad you could join us. Renard's claims that you know what? Yeah, sure. Let's do this. I would like to present this story. It is the account of a person who was a sick and starving beggar. One day this beggar was approached by the king. Did the king offer the beggar money? No, he offered him something far better. He offered the beggar financial advice. It's true. I did do that. Where's that beggar now? He runs a successful business that can pull 40 francs from a single client transaction. Amazing. And the ex-beggar attributes the king for this radical transformation? Well, he didn't say so directly, but it was implied. Interesting. Would you mind telling us the name of this person? He's a man named Renard Volpe. Oh, Renard Volpe, the trickster and con artist who runs that deplorable private investigation service. You're familiar with him? Of course, that fox has been meddling in trials and disturbing investigations for years. If this is the caliber of person that's produced by the king's financial advice, then we should all be deeply concerned. Oh dear. Meanwhile, outside the Palais Royal, protesters charge the building gates, effortlessly overcoming the royal guards. Looters take the opportunity to overrun and ransack the building. What on earth is that accursed king? Piero. No sign of him, ma'am. Rumor is that he's gone and fled the building, same as Gusau. That prime minister and the king both fled before we even started the assault. How is that even possible? Madame Beaumont, I found someone who may be of use. Oh dear. A royal guard? Nice find, Fontaine. Speak, duck. Tell us where the king is. You think I'm a common turncoat. I would have you know that I am the mighty Officer Beck. I would sooner die than betray my country. Okay. The Palais de Justice. A couple of lawyers came and took him to the Palais de Justice. I was an absolute narc with that one. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Philanthropy is not enough because it only seeks to remedy problems that rich people deem important, and it doesn't truly address the roots of problems, so it's not going to do much. Yeah, that's absolutely correct, and it's part of the issue with general charity as well, as opposed to organizing things for collective need, which includes the people who are receiving that care as well. That was easy. Piero, Fontaine, gather the crowd. We're marching on the Palais de Justice. What are we up to? Charge 12? Please continue, prosecutor. It's skipping ahead, because there's no way we're holding this in any regard. Very well, King Louis Philippe, you stand accused of crushing small businesses in favor of supporting wealthier industry giants. Such a Nipponic attitude only serves to discourage people from forming their own enterprises. I disagree. As a self-made businessman, the king has constantly shown his support for all businesses, big and small. Another ludicrous assertion from the defense. Prove me wrong, JJ. When has the king ever shown support for a grassroots business? I would like to present this story. It is the account of a angler, who recently caught an enormous catfish from the Seine. Some say the fish was as large as 2 meters. Upon catching the fish, the king congratulated the man and offered him compensation for his efforts. Compensation for his efforts. You mean he bought the fish? In so many words, yes. Well, putting aside how weak of an example that is of a man supporting local business, I see a much more pressing issue. There's no way that a fisherman caught a 2-meter catfish from the Seine. What if he had killer bait, like say a box of high-end chocolates? Ludicrous! Nobody would be stupid enough to use chocolates as fishing bait. You guys can't be serious. Outside of the doors of the Tribunal de Grande, Inspector Valerti watches the ever-growing crowd of protesters. The National Guard poise their bayonets, keeping it at the angry mob at bay. Disgusting rabble. A lot of them. Oh, it looks like the guards are letting someone through. An emissary of the rebels, or perhaps one who considers themselves the leader? Are you the officer in charge of this barricade? I am. I came to talk to you directly. I feel we can settle this maturely. No violence, no casualties. Wouldn't that be marvelous? We only have one demand, that's that you stand aside and let me escort the king out of the building. Grant me that, and I will order the crowd to disperse. I don't know if this is your first revolution, mademoiselle, but it certainly isn't mine. If your protesters want the king, then they will have to get past the line of National Guards. And I don't think your people have the skill, equipment, or raw numbers to accomplish such a feat. I'm sorry, she offered a chance at bloodlessness, and the guards didn't take it. That's on them at that point. Shark says, insert that was easy button here. Zero says, here we go again with that lame tired bootstraps argument. Jaguar says, chocolate's one of my weaknesses, as in I love chocolate. Jaguar takes 2 times damage, roll from chocolate, confirmed. Is this true, Jaguar? Do you indeed have a weakness to chocolate? I believe we're up to the last charge, are we not? Correct, charge 32. King Louis Philippe, you are being accused of being an imbecile. You are mentally unfit to run this country. No need to get personal. It isn't a crime to be an idiot, Severin. Thankfully, if it were, we would all be doing a hard time right now. Illegal, but it does raise the question of why we are giving an idiot so much power. Let's not follow the example of Great Britain, who let the mad King George III rule for decades past his prime. King Louis Philippe is neither mad nor stupid. He's an intelligent and competent individual. I'll have you know that I'm only competent on prudence. Your Majesty, please. You've chosen an impossible battle, JJ. The king's idiocy is widely accepted. I urge you to prove me wrong. Show me one shred of evidence that the king is not a blithering idiot. I would like to present this account given by the local librarian. He asserts that the king is something of an avid reader. Picture books don't count, JJ. I had no idea that an expansive history of the Macedonian Empire was a picture book. The king has been known to check out as many as a dozen thick books in a single day, covering a whole range of subjects. Face the facts, Severin, the king is an educated man. Perhaps a test is in order. That won't be necessary. What was the name of the book you mentioned? An expansive history of the Macedonian Empire? Tell me, Your Majesty, where is Macedonia? Where? Yes, I'll even make it easy. Just tell us the name of the continent. What continent is Macedonia on? You can do this, Your Majesty. It's a 1 in 7 shot. Can he really do it? I want to say Africa, but I've got it. London. This was unwinnable. This is probably the most unwinnable battle that I've ever experienced in a video game. Duke says London does act like a separate continent, but it's not. And even if it was, it's an island nation. Zara says for it to be a 1 in 7 chance, the king needs to know the name of the 7 continents. Yes, the 7 continents, which are clearly Africa, continental Europe, London, America. I'd give him that one. And he probably thinks that the other ones are like, I don't know, China, Japan, and Australia. We'll give him Australia. It's unwinnable. Monarchy is indefensible. Exactly. Monarchy is absolutely indefensible. I really want to hear what his 7 continents are. That would be so funny. I think we're done here, Your Honor. As they have demonstrated in excruciating detail, the king is incompetent, lazy, stupid, and occasionally malicious. He isn't fit to run a bakery, let alone a nation. It's almost like the wealthiest people, for some reason, don't have experience doing the hardest labor. almost as if they are not actually the ones producing anything in society. And the king, being the head representation in this time period of the bourgeois, seems to represent that in idyllic fashion. Prosecute this man, Your Honor. That's my defense of the king. Shark says, there was a girl in one of my classes that thought Mexico was in the Middle East. It's a good thing that girl is not being put on trial for being the king of France in the 1840s. Your Majesty, you're fired from our country and our bakery. France is just one giant bakery. Is that it? Does the defense have anything to add? Yes. I've got nothing. I've defended this man to the best of my ability. I have nothing more to say. Very good. Then I shall now converse with the jury. We shall determine precisely which crimes the king is guilty of and decide on an appropriate punishment. Punishment? Lawyer man, you have to do something. I'm scared. You locked me in prison for even implying that this was a possibility, and you're probably going to go run off to England to go live in some English area because reasons. Calm down, Your Majesty. The whole purpose of this trial was to see that your punishment is fair and fitting. You're not going to end up with your head on a spike. At least I don't think you will. That mademoiselle is returning. How naive. Negotiations are over, mademoiselle. Once again, I ask that you let me pass. Let me extract the king without issue, and then we shall be on our way. I warn you, the protesters are getting rowdy. Any moment now, they might charge on their own accord. Your commitment to pacifism is admirable, but you are brimming with naivete, mademoiselle. Be on your way. This. I warned you that your methods were too passive, madame. That foul voice. Show yourself, wolf. You're the friar who gave me the tip-off about the croque-monsieur. Was my information no good, Inspector? Did I not say how and when you could reach the croque-monsieur? You omitted a few details. Your words almost killed a few acquaintances of mine. Well, Inspector, it seems that you and I agree on something. This wolf has a forked tongue. There's no need to direct your hatred at me, madame. I came here to give you a gift, a peace offering. You have nothing to offer. I most certainly do. Did you know that the tunnels of the sleeping city wind straight under the Palais de Justice? It's true. If one were to put enough gunpowder in the right spot, one could even take an entire side of the building down. What are you prattling on about? How much gunpowder do you think it would take, madame? 50 kilograms? 100? Maybe 200 kilograms, just to be safe? Friar, tell me you didn't. The fuse is lit. In 20 seconds, the pillars of the Palais de Justice will fall like the temples of Dagon. Running will do you no good, you brother-killing. You're bluffing. There will be no explosion. You would like that to be the case, wouldn't you, Inspector? But unfortunately for you, the Verdian killer emerges one last time. You? I must congratulate you, JJ. No, Falcon, you argued excellently. I'm as unsure of the penguin's feet as you are, but one thing is for certain. You could not have done your job any better. Thank you, Cocorico. After a small amount of deliberation, we have come to a decision. We find the defendant, King Louis-Philippe, to be... Mon Dieu, what was that? An explosion. It sounded like it came from right outside. I hate to be the bearer of, bad news, but, well, in a manner of speaking, how to put this? For pity's sake, spit it out, monsieur. Rebels! It's the rebels! There was a big explosion at the entrance, and the rebels are pouring into the building as we speak. You heard the rabbit. Everybody clear out. Your Honor, quickly, what was the verdict? Really? In a time like this? There's no better time. Exile. Now get out of here. Court is adjourned. I will not use that particular word, Shark. It's that one word. I don't care for that word. A valiant effort, Falcon. If the rebels want the king so badly, they can take him. You can't say that. The rooster's got a point, Falcone. Just turn the king over and let him receive his dues. We've done all we can. No. You two give up far too easily. Why are you defending this guy? Sparrowson, Cocorico, we're escorting the king to R&M Associates. Renard's place, what can he do? If anyone has the power to make the king disappear, it would be that conniving fox. Yeah, that might work. Come along, your majesty. Oh dear. Come on, Cocorico, no time to dawdle. I'm staying. For there to be any chance of your ridiculous plan succeeding, somebody must stay behind to delay the rebels. Cocorico, go, I've got this. Good luck. That damned wolf nearly killed the lot of us. You're not the one harboring the king. It's a pleasure to see you again too, madame. Don't get snarky, where is he? You're too late, the king has long left the building. For all I know, he could be halfway to Guadalupe by now. So he's already gone. Damn! There goes my opportunity to enact justice. Enact justice. You should have seen the trial, madame. Everything was official, professional, and logical. It was the most brilliant display of justice I've ever seen. But the king is in the process of receiving a fitting punishment. Cocorico, did my father receive a fitting punishment when you were the prosecutor at his trial 10 years ago? No, madame. But every day since then, I've strived towards justice, and I shall continue to do so for the rest of my days. See that you do. Do hurry up, your majesty. This is taking forever. You aren't going any further. Is that the friar? I'm not going to let you take another step towards the king. I didn't come here for the king. I came to kill you, J.J. Falcone. Very well. Sparrowson, take the king and hurry to Renard's. I'll handle the monster. Are you sure you'll be okay? I can handle one crippled wolf. Okay, come on, your majesty. That explosion at the courthouse. That wasn't just the rebels, was it? Of course not. That was to take out the murderous person who killed my brother. Madame Beaumont. She was the madame who pulled the trigger, but it was your words that sentenced him. And I would do it again. You and your brother are heinous individuals. Call us what you'd like. It doesn't matter anymore. Your bloodlust must pay for this. An eye for an eye. That is the way of the judges of old. You don't appear armed. I don't need a gun or sword to kill you. There are 100 kilograms of gunpowder beneath your feet. One more step and this entire area will go. Vile scum. Inspector, just in time. You look a little singed. Did you hear that explosion, Monsieur Volpe? I did. It seems the rumors are true, Mousy. The revolution's in full swing. Go on, get in there. Visitors? Monsieur Volpe. Visitors. I wonder who. Oh my. King Louis Philippe. Good afternoon, your majesty. Are you Monsieur Volpe? I am. This is my companion, Mousy. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, your majesty. I must admit, I rarely have a gentleman of your caliber in this office. Please have a seat. Mousy, fetch his majesty some tea. Right away. I hear you can make people disappear. Ah yes, a new identity, a new face. Indeed, I can make that happen. Of course, there is a price. How much? Normally, such a service would cost 100 francs, but for you, your majesty, 10,000. 10,000 francs? I don't carry that sort of money on my person. I'm sure you can find a way. That crown on your head, egg in your hand, would surely be enough to pay for this exquisite service. You are a crook, Monsieur Volpe. Now, let's not call each other names. We're both grown men. Now let's see, you'll need a disguise. Ah, here we go. Go put this on. How do I look? Mousy, could you come in here for a moment? What is it, Monsieur Volpe? Oh, who is this cockatoo? Where did King Louis Philippe go? Oh, you see, your majesty? It's that convincing? Of course. We'll have to give you a new name and identity to match your new look. We'll need a name that's original yet ordinary, subtle yet exquisite. John Smith. Brilliant, Mousy. Monsieur, your name is now John Smith. You are an upstanding English gentleman. Je m'appelle John Smith? That's no good. We'll have to work on your English accent. Repeat after me. My name is John Smith. My name is Jin Smith. Wow, you did grow up in London. Did you grow up in London, Your Majesty? Your accent is impeccable. Really? Tell him, Elsie. I didn't understand any of it, so it must have been perfect English. This guy's name, accent, I think we're all set. Are you ready, Mr. Smith? I don't think so. Of course you're ready. Flee, Monsieur, flee. Take a horse to Calais, and from there, hire a boat to take you to the shores of England. Do you think you'll make it to England, Monsieur Volpe? With that disguise, Mousy, I think our client would be lucky to make it down the street. Come on, let's return this egg to Sauternes. Come on, bird brain, time's a-wasting. Well, well, well. Look who finally decided to get up. Give me a break. My legs are killing me from running all over Paris. Besides, we just had the case of a century. I think we're allowed one day to relax. Let's play some Siècle Noir. Nuh-uh. Look at the stack of mail we have to reply to. Mail? Inspector Valerity has asked us to sign off on some paperwork regarding the death of Friar Remus. Cocorico wants us to arrange a lunch meeting to discuss potential future collaborative projects. And Madame Beaumont has asked us to help establish a constitution for the Second Republic, if you can believe that. Plus, we have like a dozen requests for legal work from other citizens of Paris. I guess word has gotten around about our involvement in the King's trial, huh? Mon Dieu. So much to do. But all I want is to take a holiday. Hey, Falcon. Do you think we're about to see some changes? Changes? The old king's gone, the prime minister's resigned, the Second Republic is kicking off. I'm just saying. Do you think this could be the start of a new era of peace for Paris? Not until you get the Paris Commune and then you all ruin it. I don't think so, Sparrowson. As long as there's poverty on the streets and corruption in the government, people will always have an urge to rebel. I mean, yeah. So maybe you should solve issues like poverty on the streets, and maybe we should get rid of hierarchical government institutions that form that kind of corruption and intrinsically bring that about, and maybe have people have a say in their own, governance and influence the decisions that are made around them that affect their own communities, and maybe you won't have rebelling people. Gee. What a concept. If only there was a political philosophy that would address these concerns. That's such a cynical thing to say. You're probably not wrong, though. But enough talk about politics, Sparrowson. Let's go pick up some breakfast. Breakfast, the ultimate political tool. Sounds good. I feel like pain au chocolat. What am I, a liberal? That was a fun game. I enjoyed it. It was very silly in a lot of ways. It also managed to cover enough politics. I very much enjoyed the conception of it. I think from here we're gonna go into Staxel, though. Doug says, "Whoa, it's the Dance of Death, notorious song." Jalex is a big fan of the game. Extra thanks to... did I see Internet Archive and Wiki Commons? Nice. You have reached the end route, Égalité. The ending you received was determined by the decisions you made in Chapter 3. Try tackling the trial in the catacombs differently in order to see a different ending. Thank you for playing Aviary Attorney. So, I know there's a different ending for picking the option of not defending Cocorico, and there's also a different option if you defend Cocorico and fail. I don't think I'm going to be covering those because I'm very happy with the ending we picked out. I think we got the best ending as far as I'm concerned. Um, and I just don't think there's going to be that much different. And even if there is, I'm not really invested in it. Um, maybe maybe I don't know, if there was enough, I could see doing it potentially on the Discord or for Patreon or something. If there was enough clamoring for it, but not going to do it on stream right now. Duke says, I love seeing a king lose their crown. Exactly. You posted a pic of Pano Chocolate in the Discord. Let me see what that... If you posted it, where did you post it to? In food, I guess? Yeah, I know what those are. Those are yummy. Duke says, I love how visual novels include those multiple routes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not super invested in seeing all the routes in this particular game. I'm very happy with the route we got. I think that it kept with the type of character I was going for JJ Falcon. And it was fun. I very much enjoyed all of it, and I like the fact that they were able to basically take a lot of the stuff from Wiki Commons, from Internet Archive, from stuff that provided free sources of music, and even the aesthetics in all of this for the game was all done with a lot of assets that basically didn't require much. They just had to write the story and go with it. And I think it just speaks volumes about the power of Commons, in terms of being able to create something. You're able to take this historical narrative and add these characters to it. And, you know, it's just a really brilliant way, I think, to design a game where you don't have, if you don't have the capacity or it would be too expensive to get some information about or some sort of artistic thing, just use things that already exist. And I don't think the game was worse for using this. In fact, it just added to the humor and it was used in a very effective way. And I very much appreciate that. I think it also, again, is a lesson that we don't always have to reinvent the wheel. That a lot of times that we can use assets that already exist, especially things in the commons, and create beautiful works of art from that. Doug says, I'm gonna head out for now. See you all later on the server. Well, I hope you feel better, and I hope you take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week, Doug. Duke says French breads and pastries are all wonderful, and yeah, it makes me hungry. Honestly, yeah, you're not wrong about French breads and pastries. It's one of the good things. Like I said, France should just be a bakery. With that said, though, let's make our way back to Staxel. Do. Going through a portal. No, unfortunately, France is not just a bakery. France is unfortunately a murderous empire. And major colonizer. There we go. We're back in Staxel. Whoops. Are you not going to work now? Because... Okay. Gotta reload Staxel, because it didn't like that I didn't have my controller on before I entered the game. There we go. All right, any idea what we want to build in terms of kind of finishing off Aviary Attorney? We made this gavel last time. Part of me was thinking the crown, but I don't know how to make that crown. And I kind of don't want to put the crown in here. Jalek says guillotine. We're not putting a guillotine in Staxel. We're not putting a guillotine in Staxel, Duke. Jalek says, but I want a guillotine. I'm not making a guillotine. Come up with something else, please. Why no happy chop device in Stax? Because reasons. If we had chopped off the king's head in the game, maybe we would be having a different conversation. But no, I am not. I'm not going to do that. So-called anti-authoritarians when people want guillotining Staxel. A bird? Okay, but what kind of bird? I don't think I could make JJ, for example. Thinking. Lady Liberty or a tricolor? No. Their hat. What did their hat look like? What did JJ's hat look like? Wait, I'm sorry. That's actually kind of... Okay, so I ended up looking up what the alternative ending was as I was trying to find a picture of JJ Falcone. And my goodness, does things change a lot. Jaguar says an eye, because Falcon had an eye for justice. Falcon head based off of the... I mean, maybe I could do the head. The head wouldn't be terrible. Let's bring this over here. Hopefully it doesn't come out too weird. What happened, or post the other endings in Discord? In one of the other endings, JJ actually ends up the Viridian Killer. And Inspector Volerti was correct. It's ridiculous. I can maybe use that, and I would need a color for the beak. I will end up needing that for the front of the beak, I'm sure. What color is a falcon's eyes? If somebody can look that up for me. The area around their pupils is black. Yellow. Okay. With a black pupil. Okay. All right, let's see what we can do here to make a falcon head. I have no idea how this is going to come out, but we're going to try it. It's an adventure. It certainly is. No, I don't like how this is coming out already. I'm gonna restart. Also, I don't think I gave myself enough room. This is one of those where I actually wish I could start from the top, and I might actually, but I don't know if I can do that effectively. Let's see. Because the neck is kind of round-ish. Let's start here. And then it comes up into the beak. Shark says, do you all know what happened to Noam Chomsky? Is he a liberal now? Chomsky's never been a liberal. Make a pillar in the middle to start from the top. My concern with that is I don't know how high to go. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I could do... I'll go 7 off the ground. Three, 4, 5, 6, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna need several for the eye. I'm gonna go 10 up to start. And let's put the eyeball in. Going to... How detailed do I want to do this, actually? No, if I'm gonna do it as detailed as I kind of want to, given what it is, I kind of need... I need a better photo than what I have of JJ. Give me a second. I need a shot from the front of a falcon. That'll do. What makes you ask if Chomsky's a liberal now? Let's go with about 8 here. And then we'll get the back part of the neck. Their heads are kind of long. They're more oval shaped, so let's go 4. And then we'll do something like this. And that's kind of going to be like the base around the neck. There's a Reddit post about him. I'll share it in Discord. Can you give me an example or two from said Reddit post? And then we need to start making the path like towards the beak. Now I need JJ's picture again. There we go. And this should start coming up into the beak, which we'll use this color for. Not quite sure how to get that curvature on that beak, because unless I do this, because falcons be having some curvy beaks. I feel like that's about the best I'm gonna get on a falcon beak. Unfortunately, because dang, their beaks are like intense. And then we kind of want this to come back a little bit further. And then we can have this here. And the eyes are not far back from the beak itself, so... Apparently he was talking about justified hierarchies and watering down anarchism. He said the US is the best country in the world and Antifa aids the far right. I would need evidence of him saying those things. Because that doesn't sound like Chomsky at all. Number one. Number two, there are such things as justified hierarchies. And those justified hierarchies are usually things that would be generally agreed upon in terms of expertise, or something like a parent-child relationship, which is something that is technically hierarchical, but is very useful. And those are usually the type of examples he talks about with justified hierarchies. I don't know, that the whole Antifa aiding the far right thing doesn't make much sense to me. And let's do another one over here. I think we can just use these blocks for the eyes. I think that just makes the most... I think I want the eye to be a little bit further back, though. There we go. I feel like it looks more like a duck right now. Let's see how it comes out, though. Shark says, I'm really skeptical of anything coming out of the anarchist subreddits, since I've seen some really bad takes. I'm not gonna comment on other people's perspectives of anarchy on a certain level, because on the one hand, what's the word I want to use? I don't claim to be, you know, an expert on all things, right? Like, I clearly am not the only person who has ever formulated ideas or what have you in that regard. What I will say is that I find that some of the takes that I have read about and experienced from places like that to be more on the edgy side than the practical side, if that makes sense. And to me, that does not strike me necessarily as people who fully have explored the ideas. That doesn't mean that there isn't good ideas there, and that doesn't mean that they're not right on a lot of things. Just, I think that certain perspectives end up being made from principle rather than practicality. And sometimes that doesn't always work. Duke says, I think a lot of posts on anarchist subreddits are actually from bad actors, so it's good to be skeptical of anything you see on them. I agree with that. I very much agree with that. That is a very fair assessment. And I've definitely seen people from ANCAP forums posting in, like, our anarchism. Basically being like, I'm an anarchist too. And it's like, no, no. Actually getting hard for me to see in some of the crevices because of the lighting right now. Actually, that's really not bad. And then let's fill in here. And I think at this point, we're going to want to start kind of angling the head up a little bit, because their neck kind of pushes forward. And then here we'll go across here. And while their head would continue to do that, we're reaching the point where we're going to get into the hat. So we'll fill this in. And that's why it'll be kind of flat at the top. I'm honestly not upset with that. I'm tempted to make the eyes slightly bigger, though. And then we can kind of do something like this. Let me see how this looks. And then black block. Where's the good one? That one. Oh yeah, that's better. I'm pleasantly surprised with that. And let's do the hat now. What color do we want the hat to be? What color would an old French detective hat be? Green? We could go green. No, I like green. Green works. Brown or gray? Let's go with... Let's go with this block. Let's try that. Let's see how that works. We'll do that so we get a brim here. And his brim comes out like way in front of the beak. So we'll do that. Oh, no, no, no. Not, no! You're thinking about the colors that were more available during the time period? Yeah, but JJ's kind of on the more wealthy side, so I feel like he'd be able to get a color that was a little less common, but it wouldn't be like the super expensive colors. How far does the brim comes all the way out to almost the front of the beak, which means I should really have this come out like one more, maybe even two more, and then one more, I think. And then we'll do something like that. There's kind of the framing of the hat. And one, two, about three high. Three. And then we'll just cover the whole thing up here. And we'll do kind of the same thing to kind of show the cap coming up. Because it's not a very angled cap. I think I might go actually one more up. To kind of show more of that angle off. And actually, I need to flatten the brim out a bit. Because that's really where it goes down. So around here, I went too high in the front. I'm happy with that. And one last touch of detail. If I can pull it off. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull this off. So JJ has his glasses on top of his hat. No, that is too big. I need small window. Maybe that, I think those are too big as well. Yeah, I don't know if I can, do I have like a glass looking block of some kind? If not, it's not a big deal. Maybe if I can put that sideways? No. They don't really have like a single pane of window in this game, do they? I mean, maybe I could just... What if I did, like, the bottled fireflies? And I put them here. That's about as good as I'm going to get for his glasses. So, from what I'm reading, more of the sources, the poster is really reaching and straight up misconstruing what Chomsky says. Why am I not surprised? There are a few people that I would objectively look at and be like, that's an anarchist right there, and Chomsky's one of them. Also, awesome. Just do that, because I feel like, yeah, that's better. Okay, I'm good. Alright, so, everyone. Next game that we're going to be playing is, by vote on this Discord, Monster Sanctuary. So, it's a game we're going to be in for a while. And so, let me... I don't want to start the game today, because apparently there is an update to the game coming out in like 2 days, so might as well play it when it's updated. That said, we should build our little portal to Monster Sanctuary. Anybody have any ideas? We do have our starter picked out. It is the Spectral Toad, again voted on by you all. So I could make the Toad and just put our starter somewhere first. They call him an anarcho-Bidenist for saying people in swing states should vote for Biden. I get where the anti-voting perspective comes from, but also no. Making a rational decision that will improve some people's material conditions is not a bad decision. It's not going to fix anything, and it's not going to make everything better, but blah, 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 blah. Can we do a tour of the statues you've made so far? If we have time, it'll be nice to take a walk down memory lane. Yeah, we could do that quick, while we come up with an idea, especially for Monster Sanctuary. We're here. We've got a little bit of time. So obviously we have this from Aviary Attorney. I actually forget the name of this game. At the moment, it eludes me. But this was for that one game where you could turn into a bird and fly around. Vane, I think it was called. Vane. It was Vane. Just took me a minute. It was so ambient, yeah. Jaguar says, I don't know anything about that game, so I can't provide any ideas for the next portal. We have our toilet house for our friend who really liked toilets. Here's our statue for Underhero. And portal. I love that we designed the giant toilet house. This was for Omni, I believe. Where we had our little green companion friend on the stick over here. We have Frog Detective Island, who finally did get his hat. There's been so many games. I mean, that's also, you know, playing these indie games that some of them are like in the 4-hour range. You don't always get, you know, a long experience, but also they're good experiences. Sometimes they're self-contained in a way that I think AAA titles fail at. Anarcho gamer is Jaguar posted the toilet. So this was from Bee Simulator. We had our little hive portal and our bee. And on the other side, we had our little portal into the bug world and our characters from Bug Fables, which was the last long game that we played. And our little Chomsky. What else did we have? I have to find that one, Jaguar. Of course, we have our tower base and our launch point for the Eye of Basecat and our winged vessel. Pollo Power is not from Dead Cells. Pollo Power is from Guacamelee. I have not played both Guacamelee games. Next one will probably be played, hopefully around the time of Day of the Dead. This was from Timeline, where we had our little kitty companion. What else did we have? Oh, this was for, oh, what was that? Tome? Which was another cool game that we recently played. Here's Guacamelee with Pollo Power. I am very proud of this luchador mask. I am so proud of this luchador mask. This was very important for me to get right. The eye for the chicken or the eye for the luchador? Over here we have Raji. Then there was Karto. Just turn music volume up just a little. This was our portal for Night in the Woods. Duke says Karto may have been one of the top 3 you ever played from my perspective. Yeah, that was a really fun game. What did you enjoy about it, Duke? So this was Night in the Woods. And this has got to be one of the most expansive ones that we have, because the portal was right there, but we ended up creating a road to the mine shaft for Night in the Woods. And the road comes all the way across the island into the mine shaft. Jaguar says, I think I missed building that one. Yeah, this one wasn't, it took a while, but I think it was worthwhile. We had to build it around the mountain. I know, oh, there's Quirble over here from the messenger. Which reminds me that somewhere deep up here was the portal we used for the messenger, which happened to be the wormhole. Which originally opened all of our portals. And how we're able to transport to other games. This one took a while to build. This is our little wormhole up here. Duke says someone is barbecuing on a nearby balcony, and I'm sad because it smells so good. You have a song stuck in your head, so much good music in the game that you mentioned. The Messenger soundtrack is fantastic. Let's see. I know there's also Old Man's Journey, which I know is very close to the farm. I'm just trying to remember all the games. Yeah, this was Old Man's Journey. So I had the backpack with the walking stick, and I had the letter that he received. We have Pumpkin Jack. With the little bat friend. We should do a listening party of the game soundtrack on the server one day. Oh, for the messenger? I'd be down for that. That soundtrack is fantastic. I'm trying to... Where did I make the portal for Last Campfire? Jaguar, Jaguar says, for any game but the messenger is good. Zero says, we sure have a lot of games during our Chill Sunday streams. I'm glad to see how much we've progressed as a community. For sure. Duke says, Tara, you've done an amazing job on finding some real gems of games, ones that were truly enjoyable experiences. Thank you. I'm really glad that it's been appreciated and that we've been able to showcase so many indie titles and smaller games that maybe didn't don't usually get talked about, you know? Oh, and here was the one for the game that we recently played. Minute of Islands, or Minute of Islands. I think Minute of Islands makes more sense. But we built a little island, and we have the Omni Stick that was taken over by the fungus. The broken Omni Stick. That was a great game. That one when I wasn't even expecting. That one was completely donated. And I'm more than willing to do a game that's donated if it will fit the Chill Sunday theme. back here at Pumpkin Jack. Where did I put the last campfire? You'd think that would be easy to see. Shark says shout out to whoever donated that game. True. After the first campfire? Maybe you could make a path connecting all the statues in a circuit at some point. It would also make it easier to find them all. Ah, here's the last campfire. I kind of like them being, like, spread out, and kind of like them being little treats that you can find if you explore enough. I'm actually going to look at my thumbnail. How big is the Saxa world? As big as you want it to be. I think it's technically... I think it expands for quite some distance. Let me look at the thumbnail, as I can tell you if I missed anything. Because every one of these games is present on the thumbnail. Probably easier to just open up my copy of it than look at it in YouTube. Give me 1 second, everybody. I have Timeline, Minute of Islands, Omno, Last Campfire, Carto, Guacamelee, Tome, Bee Simulator, the Old Man's Journey. I have Frog Detective, Raji, Bug Fables, Pumpkin Jack, Night in the Woods, Vane, and yeah, we've got every one of them. We have every one of them indeed. So, after seeing everything that we've built in our Saxa world, time to build our portal to Monster Sanctuary. Anybody come up with any ideas? I love Frog Detective so much, the goofy humor just made me so happy, says Zero. I'm glad. No, Frog Detective is a great game. I know Doug's a huge fan of it, and it made him very happy too. So that, like, the fact that you're all enjoying these experiences makes me so happy. That we can have these chill experiences and have community and have good times. You know, a lot of the times, you know, a lot of the stuff I talk about politically is difficult topics. And I think it's important to remember to take some time for ourselves because we still live in our realities, right? Jaguar says, I was enthralled with the journey of the shrines, so no ideas for the new one. Well, I know that we could put our starter. That is one option. It's not really a portal, per se. Monster Sanctuary, from what I understand, is a lot of, like, Pokemon mixed with, like a Metroidvania style. So, I know that a lot of them hatch from eggs also, so I was wondering if we could kind of put an egg. Monster Sanctuary egg. Let me see what the eggs look like. We could do like a little egg. And just make the egg a portal. And then when we finish, we can put our starter. the main character's hat, I would very much prefer not doing that. Does Monster Sanctuary have, like, the capacity to change your character design? Because I would very much prefer if I could play as, you know, a character where I could pick their gender. That would be preferable. Let's see. Eggs in Monster Sanctuary. Just gonna try to get an image of an egg, if they have them. Not really. But it looks like the eggs are just standard egg shape, so we could do that. And we'll do it in green since we're picking the green starter. And spectral toad. Yeah, I'll go for a green that matches that and do egg-shaped portal. Zero says apparently there are costumes you can change for the character, but it looks like there's only 2 genders. I'm pleasantly surprised to know that there's 2 genders, because many games, you know, lock you into one. That said, it would be nice to have more options. I also get that there's a limit, but honestly, I'd even prefer if they wouldn't do gender options in these games. Just let you pick, like, from a selection of body types and be like, which one do you want to pick? And kind of let you determine the gender of the character for yourself, or even just let you pick pronouns. Like, that'd be fine. If you want to roleplay as the character, that should be an option. But yeah, androgynous type character with pronoun choice. Yeah, I mean, either way, just acknowledge the reality. I think there are ways around making that type of decision. I also get it if you're a game that wants to tell a story from a specific character's perspective and you're meant to role play that specific character, sure, fine. You know, make that character whatever gender or whatever you have in mind for that character in the world you're building. But if you're going to give choice at all, just give the choice. You just don't lock people into choices. And I get it, there's like different types of style there, but yeah, so I'm going to make like a green egg. Calico doesn't have genders, just different body types. That's cool. Maybe we can look into that at some point. But yeah, let's make a green egg. Where do we want to put our green egg? It's a toad. So we're making a green egg, and now I have the Yoshi's Island theme stuck in my head. We're not making a ham shark. We are not doing that. Do we have a glowy green block? That'd be nice, actually. I don't think we do, unfortunately. That's okay. But what I could do is just take, like, these glowy blue blocks and put it around the egg. And I'm actually going to make this portal like an egg in 3 dimensions, because it's not going to be that big. So we'll do something like Boop, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll kind of just make it kind of like this. I don't even know if the spectral toad comes in an egg, but our spectral toad is coming out of an egg type thing. We're gonna just roll with that. And we'll go a couple more higher. And then I think we're at a good height. And now we'll shrink it back down. No glowing green blocks, worst game ever. And I think what we'll do is something like this. As if the egg were in some sort of portal-shaped hatchery. And we'll stack these in the corners up here. There we go. This will be our portal into Monster Sanctuary. And I'm going to put an interesting touch on it. Wait, let's take you and let's make it look like the egg is starting to hatch. Like there's a crack in it right there. Till next time, everyone. I think we should wrap up here. And next time we will be playing Monster Sanctuary. Unless there's anything anybody else wants to see in Staxel super quick. But I think it's good to end this stream a little early today and take a break. I'm very happy with this. I'm really happy with how the Falcon came out. Duke says early end to do some extra chill sounds like a plan. Yeah, so I will see you all next week. Thank you so much. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube algorithm things. Again, do please consider donating through my Patreon if you're in a financial place to do so. It goes a long way to helping me continue to produce the political content that I produce during the week, as well as these streams, the Sunday streams and the community streams on Fridays. Before I wrap up the stream, I'll give you all 5 minutes if you want to have conversations in chat without me. But until next time where we go to Monster Sanctuary, thank you all. Also, if you want to donate a game that you'd like to see featured on the Chill Sunday streams, let me know, send me a message, or otherwise reach out to me before you donate the game so I can just confirm that it would fit the aesthetic of the series and figure out how to do that. And yeah, we can talk about putting that in. Donations would take a small bit of priority. So outside of the game that we're currently playing, and we'll figure that out. So thank you again, everyone, for joining me today, and I'll see you all next week. With that said, my name is Anarchist Terra. Thank you so much for watching.